Good evening. Welcome to tonight's episode of Hypnotist Bernie's exposition. My name is Bernie and I will be your hypnotist for tonight. So in the last week and the last few weeks I have had an opportunity to demonstrate how hypnosis works right in your living room where you're sitting right there. Just 2 months ago we broke the record to be the first hypnotist show to hypnotize people viewing this at home through live TV. Our feedback had been very well. A lot of people had written us by email or given me a call and told me that how much they've enjoyed the session with me. Last night when I was out with my friends, one of the young lady asked me, what are the utilities of hypnosis besides making her quack like a chicken? Well, for the record, she did not actually quack like a chicken, so everybody could relax just for right now. She is a very well-educated lady, but her impression of hypnosis has always been a party trick, and for something very basic and simple like quitting smoking and weight loss and stress relief. And I told her, of course, like hypnosis do very well with quitting smoking or bad habits. Hypnosis do very well with relieving stress. Hypnosis do very well with helping people lose weight. And in fact, that is the three main things that a hypnotist do in their office. But in the last few years, how we understand hypnosis have changed dramatically from the 1960s, whereas the 60s it's all about the power of suggestion, it's all about the blank slate, it's all about condition and response, right? At the time, condition, response, and behavioralist philosophy and making people do things and power of suggestions and influencing and manipulating people. At the time, it was the hottest field of the 1960s. We have since moved on, right? How we understand hypnosis has been moving on more for the hypnotist perspective than a psychologist perspective. There has been many experiments being done, not by psychologists, but by medical doctors and biologists, especially neuroscientists, on the brain and how hypnosis and how the brain function under hypnosis. These advances came along simply because of the new innovative technology of MRI machines and brain scanning, basically, and PET scans. At the time of 1960s, when behavioralism dominates the psychology field and the human mind field, these kind of technologies simply are not available. So the analogy I told her was that the analogy I gave her is, in the 1960s, we do not have, scuba diving gears to look under the ocean and see what's going on beneath the sea. So the only way we can deduce what's happening beneath the water line is to look at the surface of the water. And by observing the surface of the water, the only evidence we can draw is how the surface of the water behave and how the surface of the water changes color and object surfaces on the surface of the water. How the observation of that is the only evidence that could determine what is happening underneath the water. Whereas with hypnosis in the 21st century, we are able to go beneath the water line and see what's going on underneath the water. Now, it doesn't make the observation on the surface of the water any less valuable or obsolete at all, but it just doesn't apply anymore when you're looking inside and beneath the water wave. So at the same time, we can argue that sure, the observation in the 1960s are still valid, but that will only account for the surface of what's happening. These days, we're able to go beneath the surface and see what's happening below the conscious level. And we are much able to see what's happening to a person while they're under hypnosis. And with the latest technology and instrument and experiment, we're able to prove experimentally that when somebody undergo long-term hypnotherapy or even short-term hypnotherapy, their body changes along with the therapy. There are clear evidence suggesting that, and this has been experimented on, that people undergo hypnotherapy, cancer patients who undergo hypnotherapy lived longer life than the people who only undergone psychotherapy and along with doing what the doctor's saying and such, right? There's been more and more evidence showing up, especially from my clinic, that hypnosis have a very positive effect on people who are suffering from MS. A couple of my patients does not have episodes of MS after 4 or 5 treatments from my clinic. Of course, some of my medical doctor friends told me that you never really know where a person is completely cured of MS, and people are not really cured of MS, and you never know when the next episode is going to come along for these people. Be that as it may, as of late October 2007, it looks like hypnosis has been helping the people that are suffering from MS. And I've also had the opportunity to work with a number of my clients who are suffering different kinds of neurodegenerative diseases. Of course, I'm not a medical doctor, and their progress could only be measured by the medical professional. But from what I've seen from them revisiting my office and from what I have gotten by communicating to their family physician, it looks like their disease has been progressing a lot slower than expected at the same stage of the disease. So what we're going to do today, I'm not going to give you a long lecture because, you can do that. You can go and read at home, and if you want to see a lecture, you can go onto my YouTube site, and I have a couple of science lectures that was done earlier on in this year, and they're quite comprehensive and documented. Oh, by the way, this show is being aired right now live from CCTV Channel 9 at 7:30. It's going to be a rerun of this show at 2:30 in the morning, tape session of this entire show. Of course, for some of you, getting up at 2:30 in the morning to, watch half an hour of Hypnotist Bernie's exposition may not be fully justifiable, even though you may really, really want to do that. What you can do is go on YouTube. This is where I archived all my previous shows. Go on youtube.com, look up Cara Institute, C-A-R-A, Cara Institute, or look up my name, Bernard Yam, Y-A-M. That way you can find my YouTube channel, and you can see an archive of my past shows, and you can enjoy some of the sessions that I gave on the air, or see some of my guests on the show solving their problem through hypnosis, or you can listen to some of the lectures I gave live here on CCTV Channel 9. If you want to find out more on hypnosis and how to, book a session with a hypnotherapist, or how to gain training, or how to do hypnosis, or some instructional videos, or there's a archive of free MP3s that you can go online and you can download a session and you can enjoy it with a headphone at the comfort of your own home and your own time. You can do that by visiting our website, that is www.hypnotherapy.org. Again, it's www.hypnotherapy.org. So, having said that, what I would like you to do is to, for those of you who are, how should I put this, have been sick or find themselves feeling not well, or they have been diagnosed for a certain disorder. Now, what I'm going to do is to have a healing session. Let me just clarify that and put a disclaimer out there that I'm not a medical doctor, and if you're not feeling well, you must consult a physician, and only your physician is able to tell you how your disorder or disease or your sickness is progressing or not progressing, and only your physician is able to tell you precisely what kind of further treatment that you need. Especially our relationship here is on TV, that you can only see me and I cannot see what's going on with you. So, but what we can do here is to use your mind and to use the ability that you naturally have to heal yourself, activate that part of you, and let that part of you do the healing. If you think about it, all of our modern day medical marvel do not work independent from your bodily mechanism. All our medicine, all our medical instruments, all of your medical physician's training are based on how to use what your body already have to fight the disease that you're experiencing right now, or fight the pain, or fight the discomfort that you may feel. So in a way, hypnosis is basically doing the same thing that advanced medicine and experimental biology or an experimental treatment do, is to use what your body already have to help cure and help heal the part of you that is already sick right now. So keeping that in mind, I would like you to just focus on the part of your body that you want to heal. Now keep in mind, once again, that if you are being diagnosed or you're feeling not well, you should seek diagnosis, and if your doctor prescribes medicine, you should always do what your doctor say. Do not skip the medicine or not go to your doctor because you saw this show, alright? But find the part of your body that you feel sick right now. It could be a part of your finger, or it could be some physical pain, or it could be a part of your organ that you know is not feeling well lately. Just focus on that one part of your body. If more than one part of your body is hurting, just decide right now. Find that one part that you would most wish to work on, and focus all your energy on that spot. Take a deep breath in and let it out. That's right. Now I would like you to extend your arm out like this. Have your palm faces the ceiling. And bend your arm about 90 degrees this way. I would like you to focus all your attention onto the center of your palm. That's right. And just feel there's a magnet between your forehead and the center of your palm. As I count backwards from 10 to 1, you'll find that your palm is getting closer and closer to your forehead. Closer and closer and closer to your forehead. And as your palm gets closer and closer to your forehead, you feel the magnet getting stronger and stronger and stronger. As soon as the center of your palm touches your forehead, it could be before I reach the number 1, it could be when I reach the number 5. As soon as your palm touches your forehead, I will let you to close your eyes and drift into hypnotic state. When your palm touches your forehead, you'll find that the magnetic pull becomes so strong that no matter how hard you try, you will not be able to pull your palm away from your forehead. At any time there was an emergency, you'll be able to free your arm and deal with the emergency and wake up from this trance feeling amazing, feeling great, feeling fully refreshed and aware. But barring from any emergency, you're going to spend the next 20 minutes or so, or 15 minutes or so, comfortably under hypnosis, and let the power of your mind work on any sickness or any aches and pain that you're feeling right now. That's right. Continue staring at the center of your palm. As I count 10, 9, 8. As you see the center of your palm getting closer and closer to your forehead, you find your vision may be a little bit blurry. You find that your eyelids will be getting heavy, heavy, heavy. You will also find that your entire body feeling as heavy as your eyelids as you just let your other arm sink onto its own weight and let your entire body becoming loose, heavy, and limp, like a rag doll, just hanging in the chair. 6, 5, 4, heavier and heavier and heavier still. Your hand getting closer and closer to your forehead. And if it is already touching your forehead, just let it stay there and close your eyes and let yourself drift. 4, 3, 2, 1, sleep. 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 Just let yourself drift further and further into trance, deeper and deeper into hypnosis, feeling so calm, so good, so wonderful. And as you let yourself drift further and further off into this wonderful sense of hypnotic sleep, you find your body feeling heavier and heavier and heavier, feeling like your arm is getting heavier and heavier, sinking deeper and deeper down, weighing further and further down. Feel the center of your body sinking deeper and deeper down, deeper and deeper into the softness of your cushion, as if you're sinking all the way through your chair, all the way through, down, down, down. Feeling the bottom of your feet gently sinking deeper and deeper into the floor, sinking all the way through to the floor, sinking all the way into the floor, going deeper and deeper down, more and more relaxed. Just let yourself go and sleep. Deeper and deeper. That's right. As I count again from 10 to 1, when I reach the number 1, just let yourself drift off so far, so comfortable, to a place and time where all your stress is gone, where all your worries are gone, and you can just be who you are, as you are, the way you are. 10, 9, 8, 'With each breath that you take, you go deeper into hypnosis. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sleep. Sleep right there, like a rag doll. Let all the worries drift out of your mind. Let all your cares drift out of your mind. Find that you're able to focus on the sound of my voice, feeling so safe, listening to the sound of my voice, and it guides your unconscious mind to find all the negative energy that you had been holding on that area of the body that is bothering you. Find all the negative energy. That could be from exhaustion, it could be from an invading virus or bacteria, it could be of a negative emotion that you're holding on in that area of your body. And you can just gently let it go right now. Let it go and let it dissipate into the atmosphere. There's no need to keep them or hold on to them anymore. It was part of your body. You want to thank him and you want to let them go because it is just no longer part of you. You do not feel any spiteful. You do not feel bad about letting it go. You do not have any negative emotions about them ever in your body. All you have to do is let them go and let them go and let it dissipate into the universe. That's right. Feeling yourself becoming more peaceful, more at ease. And if it is an invading body of cell or virus or bacteria, you can allow your mind and allow your body to activate whatever that is necessary to activate to fight those viruses, to fight those invading bodies, to fight all those cells that you no longer need or want them to be in your body. As you let them go, and as you let your mind and body focuses its energy on fighting all those unnecessary and negative emotions, thoughts, or foreign bodies inside of you, you'll find that from now on, everywhere you go, everyone you meet, everything you do, you feel more and more confident. You feel your self-esteem improving every day and in every way. You feel that your nerves are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. You feel that you no longer need to depend on other people's opinion. You find that you are free to think, you're free to feel, free to act the right way that you believe is the right way. You find that your unconscious mind will always direct you to do the correct thing, ethical thing, morally correct thing. Even though they're the hard thing to do, you'll find that you have so much more nerves, feeling so much stronger, so much happier, so much more delighted, to have conviction to do in the things you always wanted to do. And as such, it will bring you so much more confidence inside your body to fight off whatever disease you might have, whatever sickness that you might have. And you'll find it so easy as you let yourself bathe in a warm light of positive healing energy. This warm ray of positive energy, feeling every part of your body, every part of your mind. You find yourself smiling more often, smiling everywhere that you go, smiling at everyone that you meet, and in return, you'll find that they smile back at you. You'll find that you are being freed from all the burdens that you have been carrying around for years and years. Everywhere you go, you find yourself feeling a lot lighter, a lot happier. You find your footstep getting lighter and happier. You can walk even faster than before because you're so much lighter, you're so much happier, so much more delight. Day and night, you can see more light coming into your eyes, and all your senses will become so much more acute, so much more alive. As I count from 1 to 10, when I reach the number 10, I would like you to come back to this room, feeling great, feeling amazing. As soon as you come back to this room, you feel fully rested, feeling like you've just slept for the last 12 hours, feeling great, so much more refreshed, so much happier, so much more delight in every part of your mind, every part of your body. As I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whenever you feel like, you can just take a deep breath in and let it out. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whenever you're ready, 10. Welcome back. Feels good, doesn't it? And for those of you who are joining us the first time this week, this is how hypnosis feels like. You can find more about hypnosis on our website. It's www.hypnotherapy.org. Again, the website is www.hypnotherapy.org. On the website, you can find our past show archive there, and you can find an archive of MP3s that are free for you to download, so you can experience hypnosis at the safety of your own home, at your own time, in your own very personal chair. Again, let me remind everybody that do not, in any circumstances, do anything against what your physicians have advised. Always continue your medical treatment and take your pills and continue to talking to your doctors. I hope everybody is having a good week, and hope you can join me next week at 7:30 on CCTV Channel 9. Have a wonderful night.